What if you could make a video that sounds like this that you're listening to right now? Instead of this, which is my camera's built-in microphone. All for under a couple $100 US. Today we're going to check out the Synco G2 A2, which is a 2.4 gigahertz wireless microphone system with 2 transmitters and a single receiver. For full disclosure, Synco actually sent me this unit to do a review free of charge, but they're not paying me at all, so my thoughts here are my own. Also, the entire video is recorded with the Synco G2 A2 plugged directly into the Sony FX3. So let's start with some unprocessed audio samples going over what the microphone's all about. First, you're going to hear the internal microphone, then I'll read again using the included lavalier mic. The Synco G2 A2 is a 2.4 GHz wireless microphone kit that has a dual channel receiver that clips to the hot shoe of your camera, and it's basically plug and play. This saves space from needing 2 different receivers and also means that 2 different microphone signals can plug directly into any standard 3.5mm microphone input, which most cameras have these days. In DaVinci Resolve or your favorite editing software, having 2 channels lets you edit them independently to get a very clean mix. Check out my tutorial in the description on how to do this. Or you can mix them in camera, your choice. The transmitters can work with just the built-in microphone, which sounds like this sample you're hearing right now, or you can plug in one of the included lavalier wires to be more discreet. Okay, now I've got the included lavalier wired straight up here to the top of my t-shirt. It's not the best spot, but hey, it's what you gotta do a lot of times when you get a t-shirt. Here's the sample. The Synco G2 A2 is a 2.4 GHz wireless microphone kit that has a dual channel receiver that clips to the hot shoe of your camera, and it's basically plug and play. This saves from needing 2 different receivers and also means 2 different microphone signals can plug directly into any standard 3.5mm microphone input, which most cameras have these days. In DaVinci Resolve or your favorite editing software of choice, having 2 channels lets you edit them independently to get a very clean mix, or you can mix them in camera. It's your choice. The transmitters can work with just the built-in microphone, which sounds like the sample that you just heard. Maybe that's even a little bit better. Or you can plug in one of the included lavalier wires to be more discreet, and that's what you're hearing right now. Now, just so you also know, you can plug in any 3.5mm lav. So I've got an example here coming up with the Cos 11. You could also use a, like a lot of people have the Sennheiser ME2. That would work as well. But this is how the included one works, with it clipped to the top of my shirt. Hey, now just for funsies, this is a Sanken Cos 11 that you're listening to right now plugged in. So this is about as good of a sound as you can probably get when you're placing the microphone on someone's neck using the Synco G2 system. So this is the Sanken Cos 11. This is what it sounds like. And you know what, while we're at it, why don't we also test out, this is the Sennheiser ME2 version 2 lavalier mic. So this is more of a consumer grade mic. You might already have one of these if you've ever bought a Sennheiser wireless system before. So this is the Sennheiser ME2 mic. It's about probably $150, $130 microphone. It's not amazing, but that's what this would sound like using the Synco G2. Now the price is a huge strength of the Synco G2, obviously. This of course is going to fluctuate, but currently this microphone kit is about $200 in the US, and it comes with a 1-year warranty, which there's really no competition at this price. I've even seen it on sale for less than that. Now, one unique thing that the Synco system does that I have not seen on any other microphones in this sort of 2.4 gigahertz frequency and form factor do is the option to output independent gain level settings per microphone. This system can do that. And there's even 6 different level options. So what this means is if you've got a loud talker, you can lower their volume going into camera and balance it with someone who's, maybe not quite so enthusiastic. Maybe they're a little bit quieter. Anyways, there's also a headphone jack on the receiver, so in case your camera doesn't have a way to listen with headphones, you're going to be good there. And a quick side note here, you're going to want to make sure you're monitoring your audio with headphones all the time while you're filming. All wireless systems, I don't care what you're talking about, from these affordable Synco systems to the high-end electrosonics, all of them get RF interference and dropouts. So if you're listening, at least you know what you're going to get recorded. The transmitters also have a mute button on the side, which is really handy for those moments when nature calls, or you don't want to be recorded or monitored anymore. What's in the box? You get 2 lavalier mics, also called lapels or wires, with foam covers and alligator tie clips, a TRS cable to use with your camera, a TRRS cable, tip ring sleeve, to use with your phone, 2 furry wind covers for the built-in mic capsules. This is going to help when it's windy outside. a 3-in-1 USB-C charging cable, which is going to quick charge in 1.5 hours. Of course, you get the 2 transmitters and 1 receiver with built-in batteries that last up to 8 hours, and a nice hard case that everything can actually fit in, which is usually it's hard to pack everything in. Now, one small thing that I've added is this small rig interview microphone handle, which is basically a cold shoe handle, and I dig it for man on the street sound bites. Link for this is in the description. So we know the Synco G2 is cheap or inexpensive, but does it feel cheap? Well, kind of, but not any cheaper feeling than the more expensive systems like from Rode or Saramonic. It's good quality plastic, and the great thing about plastic is that it's lightweight. They weigh in at just 1.38 ounces, so you hardly even know they're there if they're clipped onto your belt. They're a little bit bulky to hang on a t-shirt. Let's try this right here. But it can be done. Again, usually it's much more important that it sounds good than it looks good. They've added a screen since the first generation, so you can see level meters, battery status, gain staging, and if it's mixed to mono or stereo for editing later in post-production. It's a dim screen, but still, hey, it's a screen. Now, what wireless microphone review would not be complete without the outdoor distance test? So I'm going to use this time right now to go over opportunities to explore unmet potential, the cons. So right now I'm wearing the Synco G2 A2. It's on my front belt clip right here, so it's line of sight, it should sound good. And I've got the wire plugged in. It's running up through my shirt and it's coming out my pocket. So it's right here. It's kind of hidden, which is really helpful when you're outside and there's a little bit of wind. So right now I'm going to start backing up and we'll see how far we get without dropouts. So right now we're line of sight, but if I turn around, obviously I won't be in line of sight. So and as I turn around and start walking, we're going to hear, is there any issues? And while I'm turned around and I don't have direct line of sight, I'm going to go through what I call opportunity to explore unmet potential number 1. And that's that there's no onboard recording. So the Rode Wireless Go 2 has onboard recording. I'd love if this did, obviously it doesn't. And what onboard recording does is it gives you a localized backup that's not transmitting, so that if there is interference or dropouts, you can save your recording with that. So I'd say right now I'm probably close to 50 meters, which, you know, turning around, moving around, we'll see does this have any dropouts. The biggest key, I would say, to making sure you can use this and you'll be happy with it is get that transmitter, the one that I've got on my belt right here, on the same side of as the person's body that you're recording. So make sure it's direct line of sight, because if it's not, you might not be so happy with the results. And if you do, and you do have it direct line of sight, you can go a really, really long ways. So just to break down the 4 opportunities to explore unmet potential, the 4 cons I've got for the system. 1, there's no backup recording. Not a huge deal, just make sure you get it right in camera and you can monitor. 2, there's no safety channel, nothing that records at a lower decibel on another track in case you start to clip. 3, the screen is not super bright outside. Of course, right now at dusk, it's not a big deal. And then number 4, it's, well, you know this going in, it's a 2.4 gigahertz wireless system. So what you get is what you get. You shouldn't throw a fit because you can't scan the UHF channels like you can in some of the professional systems. So that's the distance test. Would I buy it? Yes, absolutely. I'd buy this today if you don't currently have a wireless microphone kit and you're on a budget. Getting a microphone close to the subject, like this is right here, is so important for good audio, and this system lets you do that. There's so much value here for talking head interviews, live streams, YouTube videos, and just so you know, there's current competitors out there. There's the Saramonic Blink 500 and the Hollyland Lark 150, but guess what? They cost quite a bit more. Now, the only time I'd say maybe don't buy it is if you already have a 2.4 gigahertz system, or you really need the 2 killer Rode Wireless Go 2 features, which are onboard backup recordings and lower volume safety channels. I hope these thoughts have been helpful to your decision making. Thank you so much if you've made it this far. Just so you know, I'm Chadwick, and this is Creative Video Tips, which is here to help you craft stories to make a difference and stand out. So if you're into that, subscribe right down below right now so you don't miss out on future reviews and tips. If you want to support the channel, check out the affiliate links I've got in the description. It's not going to cost you anything extra, but more importantly, if you want to learn more about filmmaking gear or editing in DaVinci Resolve, check out, I've got playlists on screen right now. And because there's so much more to learn, I'll see you in the next video.